dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening. I'm Keaton Hall. 20 states do not issue body cameras to their state troopers. Kentucky is now moving off that list. The patrol demonstrated their combined squad car and body camera system at the State Police Training Center in Frankfort on Friday. The cameras will be issued throughout the year as new squad cars get outfitted with the system.
And by having multiple angles, the body cam plus the integrated camera system gives us that much more documentation of what actually occurred.
780 body cameras will be issued to state troopers. 555 will be combined with the squad car video camera systems as well, all in the name of one goal: public trust.
These devices demonstrate to the public that our investigations will be done openly and transparently.
An NBC investigation in Atlanta found the majority of Georgia State Patrol shootings took place out of view of the squad car camera. Georgia does not issue body cameras to its state troopers. It's one of 20 states without them. Kentucky now joins the 30 others that do.
When our troopers are accused of misconduct, these video recordings will show that in the overwhelming majority of cases, our troopers acted appropriately and in accordance with the public interest.
Kentucky State Police have investigated dozens of police shootings across the state over the last 3 years. Investigators will now be able to review troopers' actions with the same vantage point as other departments with cameras.
Our special response team will have body cam. Our detectives that will be executing a search warrant would have a body cam.
The cameras will be issued throughout 2023.
The state's spending more than $12 million for the new camera system. The state police said money given to it in earlier years was needed to replace worn-out police vehicles and Vietnam-era rifles issued to officers.
Chilly weather throughout the mountains tonight. The Pikeville Medical Center view at this hour showing us all quiet weather right now as the city lights are on. 32 right at freezing, the current reading there. Temperatures remaining in the 30s just about everywhere. In fact, yes, everywhere in the 30s right now, but we got some areas Wise at 30 now. Jacksboro's already at 30, flirting with the 20s. Jacksboro is actually one of our warmer spots today. They almost got to 50 today. Clouds hanging on for now. The snow showers are across Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. That's one system moving out further to the south. The next system trying to get going across the Mississippi Delta. I think that one's going to pass us by, but we do have another shot for rainfall before the weekend is out. It's not tomorrow, though. We start near 30 with those clouds in place. We erode the clouds through the afternoon. We're looking better. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Back down into the 30s as more clouds work in tomorrow night. So planning out your Saturday, 28 to start. We're in the mid-30s by midday. We're back in the low to mid-40s as we head into the afternoon as sunshine breaks back out, but it won't be for long. We'll see some clouds move back into the region as we head into the evening and overnight hours tomorrow. And here comes that next system from further south and west. This looks like it could give the possibility for some snow along and north of the Ohio River. For us, we're going to be starting Sunday off chilly, so this whole thing may start as a few sleet pellets or snowflakes mixed in with the rain, but it quickly becomes all rain as we get back into the 40s for our Sunday afternoon, and this system pushes through as we finish out Sunday. Equal chance for above or below normal temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, with the main axis of the trough sitting out across portions of the Four Corners. Community Trust Bank 7-day forecast. After our showers on Sunday, we're in good shape. The only thing we have to watch, potential for a wintry mess trying to head our way towards the middle and end of next week. Model's still out on that, so we'll be watching that very, very closely. Keaton?
Yes, we will. Thank you, Evan. A Pulaski County man was arrested after police say he was in possession of more than 100 grams of fentanyl. 42-year-old Christopher Spencer of Somerset was arrested on Wednesday after deputies discovered 35 grams of fentanyl and digital scales in his car. A search warrant was issued for his home, where police say they found 105 more grams of fentanyl, as well as digital scales. Spencer was charged with trafficking and possession of drug paraphernalia. The case remains under investigation. Mountain Comprehensive Care therapists say they're meeting more people with mental health issues now than ever. Combination of the pandemic, flood, and cold temperatures can cause people to get down, they say. Billing coordinator Tasha Linden says it's a big reason they're needing more help.
The floods, and then, a lot of people kind of get what they call the winter blues. So, with it being winter time and, not as much sunlight and everybody having to, stay in the house, and it's like they get cabin fever and they get more depression and anxiety.
The rise of fentanyl has not helped. Specialists say they're currently trying to band together against it. Results of a scientific study at Paintsville Lake could impact the future economy across the region. An angler-driven study of the DNA of the bass population of Paintsville Lake was conducted in April of last year to determine the amount of Florida largemouth DNA present in the lake's existing population, and to determine the feasibility of stocking the lake with F1 bass, which are a hybrid bass with 50% Florida and 50% northern largemouth bass DNA. These F1 bass grow larger and faster than both Florida and northern largemouths and are seen as trophy bass by many anglers.
Number one, our goal was to prove that Florida strain already existed, that we weren't necessarily adding anything new in terms of genetic material to possibly affect the lake in a negative way. What we found out was that this process has already taken place. It's already happened. What they said may happen already happened. It maybe happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever those Florida strain were introduced up here.
With these results, Kenner says the next step is determining if the ecosystem of Paintsville Lake is viable or can be made viable for the F1 bass. He also added that the stocking of these fish could bring more anglers into the region, boosting tourism and the local economy. Seems like Christmas just happened, but Valentine's Day is now right around the corner, which means many people are looking for the perfect gift. From flowers to sweets, small businesses got you covered this season, and the businesses in Pikeville are no different. Themed displays and more are popping up all over the downtown area, inviting folks to shop small for that special someone.
If you're looking for something truly special this year for your loved ones, skip the big box stores and shop local. That's where you're going to find unique items that are probably handmade or locally sourced.
Many of the downtown stores are already covered in red and pink, hoping you'll spend a little green this Valentine's Day. The number of people getting respiratory viruses is trending down for the first time since September. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the number of ER visits for those three viruses combined has dropped to the lowest level in 3 months, and the improvement is in all age groups. Flu hospitalizations dropped to 1/4 of what it was at the peak a month and a half ago. U.S. military officials say Ukraine has a chance to launch a significant counteroffensive against Russia this spring with the right equipment, but there's a holdup on German-made tanks that defense officials around the world are hoping to overcome. CBS's Chanel Call has details from New York.
There is no end in sight for Russia's war against Ukraine. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying a negotiation may be the only way to end the violence.
For this year, it would be very, very difficult to militarily eject the Russian forces from every inch of Ukrainian-occupied or Russian-occupied Ukraine.
Russia invaded almost 11 months ago, and a steady supply of international aid has helped Ukraine frustrate its invaders. It is good, but we need more tanks, this soldier says. More than 50 defense leaders gathered at the Ramstein Air Base in Germany to coordinate future support, which includes U.S. combat vehicles. But German officials are balking at providing more tanks. That sparked outrage in Berlin, where protesters there chanted "Free the Leopards," the name of the German tank.
President Putin is increasingly turning to Wagner.
On Friday, the U.S. took aim at Russia, designating the paramilitary group Wagner a transnational criminal organization and imposing new sanctions. The White House released satellite photos said to show the group receiving a shipment from North Korea.
North Korea delivered infantry rockets and missiles into Russia for use by Wagner toward the end of last year.
Meanwhile, back on the Ukrainian front line, the men of this Special Forces Brigade are hunkered down, prepared for the coldest weeks of winter still ahead. Chanel Call, CBS News.
Navy official confirmed to CBS News that American Daniel Swift was killed on Wednesday in Ukraine. He was a Navy SEAL who's been AWOL since 2019. The official did not know when or why Swift went to Ukraine. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. John Lowe and Courtney Lane Brewer will have highlights and scores from across the coverage area, plus a preview of tomorrow's Kentucky-Texas A&M game. Sports Overtime is coming your way right after this break.
YMT weather, sponsored by Community Trust Bank, building communities.